Why, hello there, honored customers. Welcome to... Oh, it's you, Miss Yanfei. Is something the matter? Surely not more spurious claims that my jade betting is rigged and no one can ever win? Oh, I swear on all that is sacred.
No, nothing of the sort. Has a Snezhnyan merchant named Crossel enlisted your ore processing services recently by any chance?
A Snezhnyan merchant named Crossel, you say? I do remember that. He brought me a piece of ore, claiming that it was Smaragdus jadeite. That was the first time I'd ever encountered it, so I had no way of telling if it was really Smaragdus jadeite or not. But if a customer insists, far be it from me to contradict them. He was quite generous with his money, too, so I didn't give it too much thought. I processed the ore as per his request.
Do you have any leftover debris from your work on it?
Why, yes. It was my first time encountering this ore, after all, so I kept a few loose shavings to study myself later. They're right over there, in fact.
Thank you, sir. We'll take a look at them.
If my eyes don't deceive me, the cross-sections and patterning suggest that these are Smaragdus nephrite shavings. Yes, it's not particularly rare, nor is it especially valuable. It's used to make jewelry all the time. I've heard it said that Smaragdus nephrite is in fact the outer layer of Smaragdus jadeite, though no one's ever proven it.
A thin layer of separation, huh?
If you must see for yourself, try examining these shavings for traces of elemental energy. Smaragdus nephrite is an entirely ordinary ore, containing no elemental energy whatsoever.
Is that so? Well, we might as well give elemental sight a shot. So, did you find anything? So they really are different. But wait, how come Jichao is able to tell what it was just by looking at the shards? That's pretty awesome.
There's nothing special to it. It just so happens that I've come across a great many of these in my time. These two stones actually look very similar. Someone without a deep understanding of them would find it very difficult to tell them apart. There may be only a subtle difference for the casual viewer, but that translates to an astronomical difference in terms of the market price, and, I'm sure, a significant difference in the cost of having them carved into shape.
All right, let's focus up. We're going off on a tangent.
But never mind, Shirto. Why would Mr. Crossel...
Unusual actions have unusual reasons behind them. Let's take some of these shavings back to Chateau.
Miss Yanfei? Might I be so bold as to inquire,
If you could just confirm for me once more, sir. Mr. Crossel did indeed claim that the ore he brought to your store was in fact Smaragdus jadeite, did he not?
Yes, that's right. I still have a record of the job with me, in fact. Here. It says quite clearly, 1 chunk Smaragdus jadeite, uncut.
Then I have no further questions. But could I borrow the processing record and these stone shavings?
Of course. But might I ask why you need them?
Oh, I have my reasons. Yes. Please sign here on this affidavit. This document shall serve as signed proof that these stone shavings originated from the, ore that Mr. Crossel brought to your store. Please read it carefully.
Yes, I see. Forgive me for asking again, Miss Yanfei, but might I know the nature of the incident on this occasion?
I wouldn't say there's been an incident, just a minor issue. Thank you, sir. I'll take these with me.
With this hard evidence to back us up, Crossel won't dare try to deny what he did.
On the contrary, this is far from sufficient to build a case. We need to find something a little more compelling. If you want to make jewelry, you need a professional jewelsmith. Let me think. Jewelry. Aha! Got it! Sinxie. She often helps people to find a jewelsmith. Let's go pay her a visit.
Well, that was quick. How come you know so many people?
Because lots of people come to me for legal advice every day. As you know, Liyue Harbor is the city of contracts. And contracts, well, I should say laws, are very important to us. But the amendments made by the Tianquan to our laws are unnecessarily complicated. How can I put this? It just seems like they're hard to understand and impossible to finish. As such, legal advisors like myself provide quite the popular service indeed.
So you help them make sense of the law. But didn't you say that it's hard to understand and impossible to finish?
Yes, well, that's no obstacle because I've memorized all the legal codices.
You memorized them?
You sound surprised. Knowing the law inside out is a legal advisor's bread and butter, you know? Oh, this has nothing to do with being an adeptus. I just like reading things.
Again, with that casual tone.
Well, that's that then. Let's go look for Sinxie.
Oh, Miss Yanfei, it's you. Has something happened? Did the client from last time...
Have no further trouble from then on? Yes, of course. I'm just here to ask you a few questions. Has a merchant by the name of Crossel asked you to put him in contact with a jewelsmith recently?
Crossel? Yes, I remember him. He's a merchant from Snezhnaya, no? Yeah, he came to me with a chunk of something he called Smaragdus Jadeite. The design of the hairpins that he gave me was quite intricate, so it took me some work to find someone who was up to the job. Eventually, I found an older jewelsmith who made them exactly according to his specifications. This order was on hold for a very long time, and only completed quite recently, which is why I remember it so well.
Doesn't seem like there's any evidence to be found here.
Miss Sinxie, I'd like for you to confirm for me once more. When Mr. Crossel commissioned you to find him a jewelsmith, did he or did he not assert that the material he presented to you that day was called Smaragdus Jadeite?
Yes, I'm sure of it. The hairpins were made using many expensive materials, and the asking price was quite high, so we had to put this transaction on record with the Ministry of Civil Affairs. Mr. Crossel wasn't very familiar with the necessary procedures, so I filed it on his behalf. I also kept a copy for my own records. See for yourself, the item is called Smaragdus Jadeite Twin Phoenix Pins. The inlaid gemstone is recorded as Smaragdus Jadeite. The document even has the official seal of the ministry on it.
Thank you, Sinxie. Now, could you let me borrow this document?
Sure, it isn't serving much purpose here anyway. I take it then that there's been some more trouble?
Nothing you need to worry about, just a minor issue. I'll return your document as soon as I'm done with it. Thanks again.
Why is everyone's first reaction always to assume someone or something is in trouble?
I believe we have almost all the evidence we need. We just need to make one last trip. Let's go to Boo Boo Pharmacy to speak with Dr. Baiju.
The weirdo with the snake around his neck? What do you want to speak to him for?
Because only he can provide an authoritative statement confirming that Smaragdus Jadeite is harmful to the human body. Once we have this final piece of evidence in our hands, we can wrap this case up.
My, to what do I owe the pleasure? Though I'm afraid that if you're looking for our little Chi-Chi, she's out gathering herbs. And if it isn't Miss Yanfei as well, now that's an even rarer honor. What business brings you here, might I inquire? Some charlatans peddling ineffectual medicines again, no doubt?
No. I'm here this time to ask if you're familiar with Smaragdus Jadeite.
Smaragdus Jadeite? Why, yes, there is some information about it included in the 6th commentary on the 7 Mountain Treatises. The 7 Mountain Treatises states that this substance springs forth from stone marrow within the mountains, and will bring disaster to any mere mortals who touch it. It is abundant in elemental energy, so if someone without a vision is in contact with it for a prolonged period, best case scenario, they fall ill. Worst case scenario, they'll suffer great changes in personality, and their illness will only ever get worse. Anyway, I'm sure you didn't come all this way just to chit-chat. Knowing you, Yanfei, and given the specific nature of your question, I suppose that you're about to ask me to write an official affidavit attesting to the pharmaceutical peculiarities of Smaragdus Jadeite?
That is indeed the case. If you would be so kind, Dr. Baiju.
No trouble at all. It's just a single document. Won't take me a moment. I would mention, though, that you are not the only one who's developed a curiosity for Smaragdus Jadeite recently. A Snezhnayan merchant came to ask me about it not long ago. But after I gave him my reply, his expression shifted to one of remarkable disappointment. I wonder, Miss Yanfei, if your pressing business might be related to this Snezhnayan merchant?
You needn't concern yourself about that, Dr. Baiju. Thank you for penning us that document. I'll make sure to compensate you in due course.
You're too kind. Take care now.
That Baiju guy is as weird as ever.
Take care now, everyone.
Is it just Paimon, or does it feel like he was fishing for something back there?
Dr. Baiju's always been like that. Well, we have the evidence we need. Let's go find Mr. Crossel.
Miss Yanfei, have you finished your investigation? I trust you will now be in a position to assess the compensation due.
Yes, my investigation is indeed concluded. I can now provide a final figure for the amount payable.
Wonderful. Well then, please, could you do the honors, Miss Yanfei?
Of course. According to the stipulations of the contract, Mr. Crossel, you must pay Mr. Chow 10 times the original transaction price in Mora.
Sure. Wait, what? Me pay her? Surely there's been some kind of mistake, Miss Yanfei.
Not at all. According to my investigations and the material evidence that we've gathered, the substance claimed to be Smaragdus Jadeite that was inlaid within the Smaragdus Jadeite twin phoenix pins that you rented out to Mr. Chow was, in fact, Smaragdus Nephrite. Now, the contract states very clearly that 10 times the price shall be paid should the article not be genuine. Accordingly, you are liable for this sum, which is payable to Mr. Chow in Mora.
Material evidence? What material evidence? Why, Miss Yanfei, you cannot frame me like this. I spent a huge sum to obtain that Smaragdus jadeite, and yet you claim that the ore inlaid on the hairpins is somehow fake? I demand to see your evidence.
Indeed. Only a testimony from an expert witness involved in the processing of the ore can serve as an authoritative assessment of whether it is genuine. Traveler, please produce the evidence in question. This is a processing record from the Jade Mystery, along with stone samples and an affidavit signed by the business owner, Chateau.
Seriously? Even the boss there couldn't differentiate between Smaragdus jadeite and Smaragdus nephrite. How does this prove anything? In any case, Smaragdus nephrite is the outer layer of Smaragdus jadeite. So I had him cut away the nephrite, he returned the valuable jadeite core to me, and some nephrite samples remain in the store. What am I missing exactly?
That's an unsubstantiated belief.
Well, your claim that my ore is fake is just as unsubstantiated. And we are here to talk about evidence, aren't we?
Ugh. Looks like our first piece of evidence didn't convince him at all. Seems like he came prepared. What should we do next?
Hard evidence. Something legally binding. We have just the thing. Show him, Traveler. Oh, come on. I meant the backup copy of the document from the Ministry of Civil Affairs. The one we got from...
This document proves that my hairpins are the real deal, doesn't it? This is the Ministry's seal, after all. It shows that the ore inlaid on the pins is indeed Smaragdus jadeite.
Our second piece of evidence didn't work either. And this guy's getting more belligerent by the second.
You know, you could be right. Perhaps the hairpins are the real deal after all.
Of course I'm right. All the evidence shown supports my story.
Well, hang on a moment now, because I do recall one final piece of evidence that we haven't revealed yet. Traveler, would you do the honors? This shall serve as decisive proof of our case.
What's this?
Smaragdus jadeite springs forth from stone marrow within the mountains and will bring disaster to any mere mortals who touch it. Sustained contact with Smaragdus jadeite over a prolonged period will, in less serious cases, cause a mild malady, while in serious cases, the patient may suffer a dramatic change of personality and fall seriously ill. Mr. Crossell, were you aware of these peculiar properties of Smaragdus jadeite?
I had no idea.
No idea, you say? I'd guessed as much. But for you to have rented out such a dangerous item, I'm afraid that this falls outside the scope of my work, but within that of the Ministry of Civil Affairs. However, I'm sure that the Ministry will be relatively lenient considering that, as you say, you were ignorant of the danger you posed. Don't worry, Mr. Crossell. I will make sure that all the evidence presented here will be handed over to the Ministry. I trust that you'll give them your full cooperation in their investigations.
What? Wait! I knew.
Oh, so you knew? Oh, dear Mr. Crossell. But if you knew of Smaragdus jadeite's dangerous properties beforehand, why would you...
Huh? No, The hairpins aren't actually
inlaid with genuine Smaragdus jadeite? Is that what you were about to say? You do understand, Mr. Crossell, that this means that you will have to pay Ms. Chow 10 times the original price in Mora? Mr. Crossell, your answer, please. My client and I are waiting.
Yep, he's seriously intimidating right now. It's like she's a different person.
I admit it. I confess. The ore I had inlaid on those hairpins was Smaragdus nephrite. But I'm a victim in all of this, too. I invested a great deal of time and money into acquiring that small amount of Smaragdus jadeite, in the hopes of turning it into a piece of jewelry that would fetch a fine price. But after receiving it and carrying it around for a few days, I started to feel extreme discomfort. I couldn't sleep a wink or eat a single bite. I went to Boo Boo Pharmacy to get myself checked out, only to discover that this sort of stone cannot be worn as jewelry. But how could I let all that money go to waste? That's why I had another pair of hairpins made from Smaragdus nephrite, which is almost indistinguishable from Smaragdus jadeite. I kept the real Smaragdus jadeite in a specially made box. I daren't touch it again. I was worried that someone would see through it, which is why I only dared to rent them out, not sell them. And then to top it all off, Chichao lost the hairpins after I rented them out to her.
Exactly! Exactly! If they weren't the real deal, why'd you make her pay so much?
I didn't want to either, but when I purchased that Smaragdus Jadeite, some of my business partners found out. I knew they'd be watching closely to see how much I could make off it. If word got out that I sold a pair of fake hairpins, then my days in this line of business would be over.
All right, let's cut the appeals phase right there. I failed to see what bearing any of this has on your transaction with my client. According to the contract, you must pay Mr. Chow 10 times the original price in Mora, and that is final.
10 times?
Crosel looks like he could faint any second.
As for me, according to my contract with Mr. Chow, 20% of that sum will go to me.
20%? That's as much as I spent on that Smaragdus Jadeite.
There's no need. It's fine. You don't have to pay me that much more. Even if the Smaragdus Jadeite on those hairpins was fake, I still bear responsibility for losing them. Legally or not, I think I owe some compensation for that.
Ms. Jichao, you...
However, Mr. Crossell, since you have no use for that chunk of Smaragdus Jadeite, why don't you give it to me instead? I'll consider us even.
What? But all right, then. This cursed rock's brought me enough grief as it is.
Miss Yunfei, I'll turn the Smaragdus Jadeite over to you. I trust that it will suffice as remuneration?
Well, that's not quite how the rules say this should go. But whatever. It'll do.
Thanks so much for your help this time, Miss Yunfei. When you have the time, I'll be sure to visit and express my thanks more appropriately.
Oh, come on. No need to stand on ceremony. Now, if I may confirm this again, Mr. Chow, have you and Mr. Crossell come to an understanding?
Well, yes, I believe we have.
Well then, that's good. Mr. Crossell, it seems that my client has no further claims against you.
Is that so? That's good. That's good.
Actually, Mr. Crossell, I'd like to talk business for a second, if I may. I could see from the hairpins you produce that you're very skilled in jewelry design. My family, on the other hand, works in the ore business, and we have a fair stock of fine ores. If we could join forces, your jewelry designs and our choice ores, I think we could do some fine business between us.
Let me think for a moment.
Well, that's that. And we've got the Smaragdus Jadeite that Granny wants too. All's well that ends well, eh?
Exactly. Usually when someone tells us they've lost something, we end up searching all over the place for it. But this time, you managed to solve the problem with just a big stack of documents. Even though the solution didn't involve actually finding the hairpins.
The right solution depends on your perspective on the problem. The objective of my client, Mr. Chow, was to reduce her liability to pay compensation. So, rather than looking high and low for some hairpins, proving that the rented item was nowhere near worth what the vendor had claimed it to be was the more efficient solution. An Adeptus. Speaking of, you took part in that battle, didn't you? In which case, you would have heard what Granny said. Liyue Harbor is now a city ruled by humans. The title of Adeptus means precious little to me compared to my job as a legal advisor. In any case, don't you think that the Liyue Harbor of today needs legal consultancy far more than it needs adeptal powers?
Paimon can think of someone who would definitely disagree with your reasoning.
Well, since we got what we came for, it's time to pay Granny a visit. I bet she's been on tenterhooks for a while now.
This is a peaceful neighborhood.
returned. How did it go? Were you able to find the Smaragdus jadeite? Good, good. Then we have all the materials we need.
Well, if we're all set, Granny, I'll get going now. Got a ton of clients waiting for me back at the office.
Oh, you. All right, then. Go see to your business. Granny should be able to handle the rest.
I'm off then. Bye! Oh, yes, Traveler. Make sure you don't lose the business card I gave you. I've been looking into the laws of other nations as well. If you should ever bump into any trouble with the law, come find me directly. Regulars get discounts, too.
Come now, child. Are you leaving or are you not? If you have no wish to leave, perhaps you'd like to help me clean my teapot,
I'm leaving! I'm leaving!
That child. Goodness knows where she learned to be so rambunctious. Her father was hardly so riotous or fond of talking nonsense back in the day when he stood beside Rex Lapis. Indeed she is. Liyue has changed, and the Adepti must also learn to change. Yanfei might be overly garrulous, but she is also the most intimately acquainted with the city among us all. Liyue is not the same place I once knew. All right, then. Let us speak of this no more. Back on topic. I believe that I still owe you a little gift.
Oh, Paimon's so excited! How is it made?
It is but a single teapot. It shan't take long at all. Just wait here for a moment. There we go. This Serenity pot is all yours now. Hold it firmly. If you were to drop it, oh goodness, who knows what might happen. Take these blueprints with you as well. You'll need them if you wish to make your teapot a little more lively inside.
Wait a minute, Granny. How exactly are we supposed to use this teapot?
Oh, you needn't worry about that. I've already arranged for a certain little helper to await you within this teapot. She will explain everything you need to know about. Oh, wonderful.
Wow! This teapot seems even bigger inside than Madame Ping's! There's even a great big house in the middle, too! Huh. But there's just a whole load of nothing around it. Paimon can't do that! Well, you're the one with the sword anyway. You do it! Still, why is it so empty? nobody here apart from that house. Oh, wait a second. What is that?
Well, it seems that we have a visitor.
It's a huge finch!
Excuse me, I am not a finch. I am a teapot spirit, and you may call me, hang on a moment. What am I supposed to be called again? Oh, call me. I suppose you may call me Tubby.
So you're the little helper Madam Ping mentioned?
Madam Ping? Oh, you must mean Ping. Yes, she did summon me here. She told me much about you. You may leave all matters regarding the upkeep of this realm to me. Your journey may be far from over, but at least this way you will not want for a comfortable place to sleep each night. Though it is the Adepti who create realms such as this, they generally do not have the time of day to attend to the banal matter of their maintenance. Thus, we teapot spirits were created to help guard their realms and manage their affairs. You may consider me a butler, if you will. Now, allow me to explain this realm to you. Have you any blueprints on you? Specifically, blueprints with beautiful rooms, chairs, and the like. As long as you have a blueprint, you can refashion this realm however you please.
Blueprints? Oh, that's right! Granny handed us some when she gave us the teapot, didn't she? Let's take them out and have a look.
Yes, these are the blueprints I'm talking about. Go on, open them up. Just commit the image of the objects to memory and prepare the necessary materials. Then simply release the thought from your mind and the object in the blueprint shall appear within this teapot.
Wow! Is that all it takes? Then we could build a whole city inside, couldn't we?
I doubt it. A golden-eyed adeptus explained this to me at some point in the past. He said that even though subspace creation is a product of adeptal power, even that has its limits. This world is not a true one, after all. It provides merely a moment of brief respite from the mortal realm, not a means of escaping it entirely.
A golden-eyed adeptus? Paimon wonders who could that be?
I hardly remember myself. What's more, I have never seen that adeptus again since. Well, let's not dwell on that. Have a look around. Best you get accustomed to this realm. If there's anything you would like to ask, just look for me. Maybe you're not used to the place at the moment, but once you've materialized enough rooms and furniture through subspace creation, maybe... Maybe you're not...
The one before you is known as Jade Seeker. One travels far and wide, seeking naught but to witness all of the treasures this world has to offer. Ah, encounters with fine treasures cannot be forced. This is something that only fate may decide.
Maybe you're not... Maybe... If you ever have any...
Incoming! Hey!
Spirit Blade! Attack!
Nowhere to hide. Don't blink. Speed of light! Hey!
Let's light it up! With sword comes shadow. Incoming! I'm going in! Nowhere to hide.
Forth, my blade! From whence you came!
Starball!
With sword comes shadow. Incoming.
Submit for judgment!
Speed of light! Hey!
Everybody stand back!
one with my blade. From whence you came.
Adventure time! Drop! Off we go! Adventure time!
Swift and merciful.
Keep the pace! Cut to the chase! Shame! Star
forth my blade. Submit for judgment.
Incoming!
One with my blade.
The hunter becomes the hunted.
I ride on wind and cloud alike.
Teamwork is dreamwork! Drop! Nowhere to hide.
Swift and merciful. Spirit blade. Attack!
Off we go! I'm going in! With sword comes shadow. Speed of light! Hey! Let's light it up! Ha! Whence you came!
Don't blink!
Everybody stand back! Adventure time!
Ugh, too salty. Ugh, too salty.
The best way to travel. I wonder how much longer.
A, B...
then surely something can be done about it.
I hope my wife gets well soon.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. If you gather up what you can, then surely something can be done about it.
What am I going to report back on if there's no airman soul fruit?
It's fine. Don't worry about it. If you gather up what you can, then surely something can be done about it.
Adventure time!
Speed up!
One with my blade!
Crumble apart! Yeah! Ha! Ha! Ja! Ja! Ha! Ja! Ja!
There's no airman soul fruit.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. If you gather up what you can, then sure.
overeaten. May have overeaten.
Add ast.
Good for both body and soul.
Hey! Why do they never miss? Speed up, hit!
It's high time I took on an apprentice.
All tasks have been handled.
Maybe you're not. Maybe you're not. Maybe. Maybe you're.
Keep your eyes wide open.
You want me on your team?
Riptide! Amateur mistake.
Ha! Speed of light! Starball! Incoming! With sword comes shadow. Ha! Ha! Yeah! Drop! Yeah! Starball! Speed up! Hey! Drop! Incoming!
You can run, but you can't hide.
Nowhere to hide. Ha! Everybody stand!
You're mine.
Speed up! Hey! Got lucky.
No time to lose.
Adventure time! Incoming! Ha! Starball! Ha! Drop! Don't blink! Hey!
Tidal wave.
Hey!
Riptide. Time for some training?
Gonna be epic.
Keep your eyes wide open.
Adventure time!
No time to lose.
Let's light it up!
Starfall!
Spirit Blade! Attack! Amateur mistake. No time to lose.
I'm going in!
Forth, my blade! You can run, but you can't hide. You're mine! Submit for judgment! Brace yourself! This is gonna hurt!
Let's light it up!
A touch of frost!
Starfall! Drop!
From whence you came!
Let's light it up!
done with my plan.
Ha!
Drop! Let's finish this quickly.
Need to end a few enemies?
I'm all for work-life balance, but...
Hi, Catherine! It's us! Any new commissions?
As a matter of fact, there's one that looks perfect for you two. Uncle Dai is one of the foremen at Huishan Hall over in Liyue Harbor. He's hoping the Adventurers Guild can spare some manpower.
What is it we have to do exactly?
I believe you'll be looking for workers.
Ooh, looking for people? Awesome! We're good at that!
I have no reason to doubt your abilities. I'm sure the details can be worked out face to face. If you're willing to accept this commission, head over to the dock and talk to Uncle Dai.
I am indeed. Ah, now then. You must be the adventurers assigned by the guild.
Huh? How could you tell?
By the clothes on your back and the look on your face. Experienced adventurers at that, I'll wager.
Right again! You're pretty perceptive!
In this trade, you need a sharp eye for people, not just rocks. Uncle Dai can see what you're made of from a long way off. Alright, my assistant should be arriving soon, so let's just wait here a moment.
Woo-woo! That's why we're here! Now there's someone else taking a cut?
Well, to tell you the truth, this is a very difficult matter. Too much for adventurers alone to handle life here.
So there is someone else! Do you think we're not up to the job?
It just occurred to me that you don't have all the facts. The incident in question happened in a mine, and it's a little out of the ordinary, to say the least. Mines are dangerous places, as I'm sure you're aware. As such, I've enlisted an industry expert to cover all contingencies. Last time I checked, adventurers weren't experts in ore appraisal or geological analysis. With a professional by your side, everything should run smoothly. Besides, this guy's the best in his field. No matter the rock, he'll tell you its value to the nearest mora at a glance. I'd go as far to say that there's not a soul on Tevat that knows rocks better than him. I'd be a fool to not enlist an expert of his caliber.
You're a fool if you think you found Tevat's #1 rock expert.
Oh? And why might that be?
Because Tevat's #1 rock expert happens to be a friend of ours. Ha! Didn't expect that, did you? Wait here, we'll go fetch him. Paimon bets Zhang Li is listening to the storyteller. Let's head over.
All tasks have been handed out.
In our last tale, Rex Lapis.
Zhang Li, there you are!
Oh, here for a few tales? I didn't know you two were connoisseurs.
Oh, no, we're here for you! Do you have time?
Ah, something I'm rarely short of.
We need someone who understands geology and ore!
Someone who understands geology and ore.
Take a look around. Is there anyone in Tevat more qualified? The requester claims to have enlisted Tevat's #1 rock expert, but Paimon doesn't believe a word of it. Nobody understands rocks better than you.
You appear to have taken his claim quite personally on my behalf.
Oh, no. It's just... Uncle Dai doesn't know what he's talking about. Paimon just wants to enlighten him.
I see. Well then, it will be my pleasure to accompany you.
Really?
But I should inform you that despite my expertise, I cannot necessarily claim to be a leading authority. We are at all times adrift in a sea of learning. New knowledge should be welcomed with open arms. Still, I imagine I will be of help to you in this endeavor. If we do encounter an expert, I look forward to broadening my own understandings.
Stop being so modest, Zhang Li. Well, we got him. Let's head back to Uncle Dai.
Oh there. Come.
I can't believe the well got polluted.
Uncle Dai, we're back!
Oh, and this must be the friend you spoke of?
Yep. Paimon doesn't know who your rock expert is, but he's got nothing on our guy.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Still, I do have a claim to some experience in this field.
So you say. Wait till my guy gets here. Then we'll... It's no use me singing his praises. You'll have to see for yourselves.
Is this the place?
Aha! Speak of the devil. Allow me to introduce my assistant, Kun Jun. Young Kun, these are 2 adventurers assigned to us. And as for this gentleman... Wangshan Funeral Parlor's consultant. Mr. Zhang Li. I've heard about you. They say you're a man of great knowledge and many talents. I had no idea I'd be meeting you in person today.
I'm sure I recognize you. Have we met at the parlor? Wait, I've never been to the parlor.
Uncle Dai, aren't you gonna test them?
Huh? I wouldn't know where to start.
Then they can figure out a way to test each other. If Zhang Li wins, he's the assistant. If Zhang Li loses... never mind. Zhang Li won't
contest? Why, it would be my pleasure.
I admire your enthusiasm, good sir.
I must say, you certainly have the look of an industry expert about you. It'll be interesting to see which one of us wins.
Stop talking the talk and start walking the walk!
I'm just saying it like I see it. Which is, incidentally, the only skill I have worth talking about.
So you're an appraiser, Mr. Kunjun?
Well, no. Actually, I've already forgotten what I'm in Liyue Harbor for. I was standing by the side of the road one day when Uncle Dai called me over. He saw me holding a rock and asked me a few questions. He seemed incredibly excited, even followed me for a while. We arranged to meet here.
Huh? How could you forget something like that?
I saw him on my way over to Liyue Harbor, poring over rocks and muttering to himself. He looked to be very familiar with them. I asked him a few questions out of curiosity. To my surprise, he knew more than me, an old mining foreman. In any case, he didn't have any pressing matters and agreed to help me.
So, do you have a poor memory?
Not exactly. Anyway, if it's rocks you need help with, I can most certainly lend a hand. Mr. Zhongli, what do you make of this rock?
A glossy exterior, with a fissure that could only have been left in the wake of a volcanic eruption. If I'm not mistaken, this is a rough gem from another nation.
Ah, a keen eye.
It's no ordinary rough gem. Fragile surface layer, black veining. My intuition tells me that there's high-quality crystal ore inside.
Remarkable! This rock does indeed hail from the vicinity of a volcano. I came across it in a market and snapped it straight up. The seller thought it was some leftover industrial remnant. They had no inkling of the treasure that lay within. Purity and geological rarity alone aren't enough to make a treasure. Some of the most precious crystals contain deposits of water or sand. In the moment of its formation, the crystal hidden within this stone shell captured a pocket of water. For water to be hidden in its depths, like a moon concealed within a mountain, reflecting shafts of daylight that make it through. Now that's a rare treasure.
Such a detailed description. Almost like he saw it with his own two eyes. Say, you're not trying to hoodwink us, are you? After all, we haven't even seen what's inside yet.
Everything he said is true. Most crystals are born in high-temperature environments. Heat and water aren't natural bedfellows, of course, which is why crystals with water deposits are so sought after. Moreover, this particular crystal contains mountain lake water. A rare find indeed.
Well, if Zhongli says so, it must be true.
I've yet to encounter anyone with a judgment as shrewd as yours, Mr. Zhongli. How did you know exactly what lay within?
I've seen many such stones in my time. I recognized it immediately. I hope you didn't mind me flaunting my experience, Mr. Kunjun.
Of course not. I feel I've met a kindred spirit here today. I hope you will accept my friendship. Uncle Dai, it would be a mistake for Mr. Zhongli not to join us. Trust me when I say that his level of expertise is unrivaled in the trade. You won't come across another of his caliber in your lifetime.
Very well. There is strength in numbers, after all. Everyone, follow me to the chasm. There are men counting on you to find them.
Whoa, this mine is huge!
This is where the incident occurred. 6 days ago, a group of us left the site to attend to other matters. When we returned, the 4 men we'd left behind had vanished. I led a team around the entire mine, but found no trace. That's when I decided to enlist help.
So 4 miners have disappeared.
Yes, there were 10 of us. We lost Long, Bold Sen, Brave Sen, and Mao. I worked with all of them.
Workers in this trade are usually young men in the prime of their lives. Could it be that the 4 of them left for another mine?
Unlikely. There's no other lodging for miles around, and we didn't pass any other mines on the way over.
Huh. Such a huge mine. Did you really manage to explore every corner?
Underground, overground, we left no stone unturned. We tried everything short of digging further into the earth itself. How could 4 sturdy young men just vanish into the bedrock?
We'll need to explore the site ourselves before extracting any conclusions.
Very well. I'll wait here. Please, proceed wherever you'd like. If you come across any clues, let me know straight away.
So strange. How could the 4 of them just suddenly disappear? Did they run away from something? Let's look around first and see if we can find any clues. Over here! What's this? A pile of shirts, some trousers.
A few everyday items. They must belong to Uncle Dai and his men.
1, 2, 3, 4. Huh, that seems right. 10 shirts, 10 pairs of trousers. These must be spares, right? Look, Uncle Dai's clothes are identical.
The 4 of them have been gone for 6 days without a change of clothes.
There's also a few handkerchiefs and some soap lying around. Oh, and some tool belts.
Items for washing one's face before the dawn shift. Mining equipment.
So, they didn't take any supplies.
Correct. Improbable. There are 4 pickaxes missing. It seems likely they left with the tools of their trade. They had time to take their tools, but not their everyday items? Curious.
Huh. Why would someone set off with their tools, but leave their luggage behind?
1, they were working close by and didn't need to move their personal effects. But seeing as they've yet to return, this seems an unlikely hypothesis. Or 2, they were forced to leave and had no time to think about their supplies.
Oh.
It's certainly a possibility. We'll need more clues before any further inference can be made.
If they didn't leave, maybe they were made to leave. Let's make a note and let Uncle Dai know. Kunjun, what do you have there?
Oh, right on time.
Did you find anything?
There's a chunk of ore here. Perhaps there are clues within.
Or, what does it have to do with the disappearance?
Let's find out. I'll give it a try. A moment, please. Okay.
Looks like he's concentrating really hard. What's he up to?
I see 4 men following someone out of the mine. It looks like a child.
A child? What's a child doing in a mine?
I'm not sure.
Also, how did you see anything exactly?
Oh, I don't mean see in the traditional sense. I would appreciate it if what I'm about to tell you remained a secret. It's a little odd. I've never dared to tell anyone before. I can perceive the memories of Or.
Huh?
Perceive? So there's no conjecture at work?
You mean you can put your hand on a rock and boom, it just happens?
I've always sensed that Or contains memories. Sometimes it records events that occur in the surrounding area. All I have to do is touch one and focus my attention, and the memories come to me.
Amazing! So you can find out everything that ever happened there.
It depends on the ore. Some ores have astounding memories. Others, like iron ore and white iron ore, aren't up to much. Their memories are hazy. Core lapis and crystal memories are much stronger. They record more events and in greater detail.
Stone seeing. Fascinating. A rare ability indeed. It was prudent of Uncle Dai to recruit you, Mr. Kunjun.
I'm glad I can be of assistance. Based on what I saw, I believe they followed this path.
This will take us north, away from the mine.
North. Another clue for Uncle Dai. Let's make a note of it.
Excuse me, sir. Are you one of the workers here?
Ah, yes. You must be here about the disappearance. Please, find them if you can. I don't know what happened. The weather was gloomy that day. The foreman left with a few men. I stayed behind with the other 4. After a while, I decided to take a break, just to catch my breath. I ended up falling asleep in the shelter inside. When I woke up, there was no sight of them. I'd only just been speaking with them and suddenly they'd vanished. Maybe I'm next.
So the men that were out working disappeared, with the only one left to tell the tale having been asleep in a shelter. Perhaps an accident occurred on site.
What a scary thought. An on-site accident. We should note that down too. Found some clues. Time to report back to Uncle Dai.
You're back. How are the investigations going?
We found 3 clues in the vicinity. First, there are 4 missing pickaxes, yet everyday items are still in their place. This suggests that your men didn't leave of their own accord, but were forced to.
Forced to? But who would kidnap miners?
Who indeed? Second, there were 5 workers at the mine. One of them left the site to take respite. When he awoke, his colleagues had disappeared without a trace. Those who kept working all disappeared. The one who left early emerged safe and sound. It would appear that the incident occurred on site.
Now that you mention it, I recall Bravo saying that he took a break. Could someone have entered the site and simply walked away with them?
This leads me to my third point. Mr. Kunjun here made good use of his, expert techniques to arrive at a conclusion. It was a child that took your men away.
A child? But there are no settlements here for miles around. There's no way a child would have made it over to the mine.
Unlikely as it sounds, that's our conclusion. Your men were following a child.
Where did they go?
We believe that they followed the road north, away from the mine and toward the ruins.
North? Right. I'll rally my men and head in pursuit. You've been invaluable to the investigation, but leave the legwork to us. If we set off now and make haste, we might be able to catch them.
Not so fast. The incident occurred 6 days ago. Even if they set out on foot, they will have covered a lot of ground by now.
You're right. New plan. I'll lead my search party over to the settlements further out and make some inquiries. There are only a few settlements around here with lodging for the night. We'll go investigate and see if we can come up with anything. In the meantime, you could keep looking for clues. If we don't see each other, let's reconvene at Wangshu Inn tomorrow evening.
Agreed.
All right. Me and my men will get going.
So, they're gonna talk to the people over at the settlements while we keep investigating here.
Correct.
But there aren't any more clues at the mine. Shouldn't we go north?
Wait. I believe we're missing someone.
Huh? Oh yeah! Where's Kunjun? Paimon Betsy's still investigating.